Here it is at last, the Helios Tarot forecast for the month, or Tarot Horoscope drawn specifically for your astrological zodiac sign. I'm B.R. Newman, in case you didn't know that already. Check out my website, IamHelios.com, through the link below, and consider everything that I have to offer there. Consider signing up to receive any number of the personal readings that I offer, or consider signing up to take a course. The choice is yours. There's a lot to explore there. Also consider checking out Annie Botticelli's Storyteller forecasts to see the astrological side of everything you're going to see here. It's fascinating, I promise. So, okay, I guess we'll just jump right into it. So here it is, Sagittarius, your 5-card Helios spread for the month of November. This spread is like a condensed Golden Dawn spread, which uses 15 cards. In this case, we have 5 to the same effect. We have a central theme, 2-dimensional timeline options to choose from, a past section, and a fate section. In your central theme, you have the 4 of Wands. Now, all 4s in tarot are associated with Spirit number 4 on the Tree of Life, Chesed, and as manifest through fire, through wands in this case, this is balance, something coming into a state of completion, something being corrected. So we looked at the past to figure out what is being corrected, and in this case you have the 2 of Cups there, and all 2s in tarot being associated with the second Spirit on the Tree of Life, having ties to the right hemisphere of the brain, as manifest through water in this case. This is the imagined ecstatic love of your dreams. So we're talking about an actualization process here through the 4 of Wands. The 4 is sort of acting as a mechanism through which the balance that is required for such ecstatic love can be brought into being. So the way to go about doing that is illustrated here by your 2-dimensional timelines. So on the one hand, you have the 5 of Wands, which is often called the card of needless drama or strife. Right off the bat, it doesn't sound like a way to go. So all 5s in tarot are associated with Gebura on the Tree of Life, the foundation of stringency. It's not always a comfortable thing to experience, and it honestly doesn't always have a point. There's a kind of needlessness there, and as manifest through fire, through wands, this is conflict for the sake of itself. Doesn't really lead to anything. It's like continuously trying to jam a square peg through a round hole, so in which case it's time to do something drastically different, which is what the Princess of Swords on your alternative dimensional timeline is very good at. She's quite adept at that process, and quite practiced at that process. All of these 16 court cards align perfectly with the 16 Myers-Briggs personality profiles, and not everyone uses this, not everyone is aware of this. But I found this correlation to be extremely helpful, very useful. So, for example, in this case, the Princess of Swords lines up with the ISTP, or the Introverted Sensing Thinking Perceiver. This is someone who's ready to try anything once. So this embodies the capacity within you to try something completely new. You see that something has not been working. You've been trying something over and over, which is what makes the 5 of Wands so needless. That's sort of the path upon which you try everything you've been trying that hasn't been working. So the Princess of Swords is clearly the path where you try something different. And this is a personality profile that can run simulations in her mind quite accurately. Imagine what might work in a creative way. You have the foundation you require to do so. The launchpad is there. There's the 2 of Cups in your past, which has ties to the right hemisphere of the brain, which of course is all about imagination and running simulations in a creative and abstract way. So the Princess of Swords is the path upon which you exercise that, indulge that dream of ecstatic love, fantasize, get in touch with what you truly want, what you truly desire, so that when the time comes to suggest such things, and suggestions will be key since this has to do with ecstatic love, which always involves more than one. It's more than just the self. Of course, if we were to see the Ace of Cups in the past, we might consider the possibility of this being a matter of self-love. Of course, self-love is involved, but this is the 2 of Cups, so there is another heart involved here. So the Princess of Swords, I think, should aid you quite well in entertaining the possibility of imagining potentials that might work for you, that might make you feel good, that might actually bring the kind of ecstasy and joy and fulfillment that you require, and then also feeling okay with the fact that you do require it. Okay, so also more on the Princess of Swords. She's very hands-on, very unpretentious and ready for anything, but she's very observant, so watch the responses in those to which you make suggestions for changes. Perhaps if you're currently in a romantic relationship, your partner will be able to signal to you what is or is not going to fly. If mutual ecstatic love and satisfaction is not possible, they'll likely simply tell you about it as soon as the suggestion is made. Whatever the case may be, whether or not you're in a relationship, the Princess of Swords should enable you to be looking where you need to look to find the signals and the details you require to make decisions. What's most important, really, is that you imagine solutions as if you were experiencing them. This is more along the lines of a simulation rather than pondering a possibility or weighing pros and cons. It has to be somewhat experiential. The Two of Cups is the foundation upon which this potential is being built, and that means right hemisphere of the brain, not left, not analytical or logical, not compartmentalizing or sorting and organizing and actualizing through intense focus and thought and calculation. In reality, this should be quite fun. It should be an enjoyable experience. So feel free to let go. Honestly and patiently feel into what might satisfy your desires regarding themes of ecstatic love, pleasure, and even sexual fulfillment in your life. Always remember to keep judgment at bay. Don't try to control all of this too much because you want to let it blossom naturally. You have in your fate section the universe, which is something coming naturally to completion, like a flower growing into full bloom. You can't make it happen. You let it happen. You watch it happen. You enjoy the whole process. And then when it's done, appreciate its beauty, smell its aroma and use it as a symbol of love. The universe in your fate section absolutely implies the possibility of the actualization, the full manifestation of that which has been imagined in the Two of Cups. You can achieve that. You just have to run the simulations in your mind, get in touch with what you truly want, indulge your capacity to fantasize, really allow yourself to enjoy it, to know whether or not you can actually enjoy this. If this is something that you and your partner are going to bring into your life, for example, this can look a number of ways, really. This isn't necessarily locked into a romantic context by any stretch. So it's up to you as an individual to do the necessary personal reflections on the circumstances that you're in, on your own life, so as, to make this much more specific than I possibly could, this being a general reading applying to everyone with your sun sign. I think overall this is a very liberating tarot read. If I were to advise anything in terms of warning, I would only suggest that it may not be wise to continue jamming that square peg through the round hole. It's not going to work. You can make it work, you just have to pick up a round peg. And to do so, to even know where to look or how to pick it up, you have to imagine it first. As I've heard it said before, what you think about, you can bring about. So think about it. And you just might bring about the kind of fulfillment you desire. And it sounds like this could be great news for anyone else that might be involved as well. So let that imagination soar. So that about wraps this up for the month. Thank you so much for listening to this and for watching. Please do consider contacting me for a personal reading of any kind. You can check out everything that I have to offer on my website, IamHelios.com. You can also sign up for a master course I have available there. Whatever you choose, we can take this incredibly far and deep. You can gain so much from our work together, as many people have already. I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks again.